And joining us now to talk about the present and the future of electric vehicles here in the U.S. is Tony Posawatz with General Motors. He is director of the Chevy Volt program. He is also co-chair of the Electric Drive Transportation Association. Tony, great to have you with us today.
Oh, it's great to be with you.
Is it fair to say that 2010 is the year of the EV, judging from what we've seen in the auto shows both there in Detroit and also here in Washington?
I think you're absolutely right. I think the electric vehicle and the plug-in car era is upon us. By the end of this year, 2010, I think you'll begin to see thousands of cars hit the market here in the United States.
Do you have a jump start on many of your competitors, Tony, given that GM had the EV1, which many people deemed successful, then was pulled back off of the market? Is that giving you a jump start on your competitors?
Well, General Motors has a tremendous technical breadth and depth in the area of advanced technology. And as it relates to electric drive in particular, the EV1 was a technological tour de force. We've got EV1 engineers working on the Chevy Volt. We've got great experience in our fuel cell programs and our hybrid programs and our alternate fuel ethanol programs. And that all comes together and allows us to be the first to market with an electric vehicle like the Chevy Volt that's got extended range capability, so you avoid that dreaded range anxiety disease that many EV customers may experience in the future.
Well, let's talk about the design you brought in, Tony, to the Chevy Volt, because it is an EV but has this gasoline-powered motor as well for backup. Why put both of them in a single vehicle rather than building up the battery strength itself?
Well, right now, the way the battery technology is it's made great strides. We're now into the lithium-ion technology and chemistry that people are familiar with in their cell phones, in their small devices, in power tools. We're scaling that technology up to an automotive application, so there's a lot of learnings there first. Even in spite of the advancements in that technology, most pure EVs, battery electric only, can probably only go about 100 miles or so, which really doesn't satisfy customer needs and wants. In order to create a revolution that we hope to with the Chevy Volt, you need to make it so that it can be everyone's everyday car. And the Chevy Volt will give you over 300 miles, and you have choice, whether you use regular gasoline, ethanol in the future, or just plugging it in to drive in a very spirited and exciting advanced technology way.
Well, breaking our dependence on foreign oil is a catchphrase that really caught traction with voters back in 2008. The president says it repeatedly now, so does the energy secretary. But one of the realities of this entire process, Tony, is that even if we go to EVs, electric vehicles, and even if we're relying on battery technology, if those batteries aren't made and manufactured here in the U.S., we're still dependent on a foreign entity, correct?
Absolutely, but I think one of the things that you're seeing, and we've put this into place with the Chevy Volt. The Chevy Volt vehicle will be produced in Michigan in the United States. The battery pack will be produced by General Motors in the United States, and the electricity used to power this exciting new car is domestically produced. That's the one beauty of electricity. Electricity has many pathways. Many of them are very green and renewable, like wind and solar and the like. And it is available to everyone, and it's really inexpensive as it compares to gasoline today, and even more so in the future. A Chevy Volt will probably cost you about 2 cents a mile to drive using domestically produced electricity. An equivalent gasoline car is 10 to 12 cents a mile, and we anticipate that relative to some of the fuel price projections that gasoline will go up and it'll cost you even more than that in the future.
And Tony, final question. The Washington, D.C. metro area is one of 3 regions where you at GM will roll out the Volt in 2011. Why D.C.? Why did you pick this particular region for that?
Well, the 3 regions that we're focused on with launching the Volt before the end of 2010 are California, Michigan, and the D.C. area. They're regionally dispersed areas, so we get different temperatures and climates. We've got each of the coasts covered, and it is important to show evidence to our leaders in Washington, D.C. that this technology is real, it works, and this will help them further the cause as it relates to other initiatives, support, incentives that we need to really usher in this electric vehicle plug-in era that is really upon us.
And the Chevy Volt rolls out in 2011. Tony Posawatz with General Motors, thanks so much for joining us from Michigan today.
Thank you.